everybody. Welcome to another live episode of the Let's Talk Photography podcast. Give yourself a round of applause for showing up. All right, let me increase the volume on that, okay? I don't want to deprive anyone of these awesome sound bites I got here, okay? My sound bites keep on growing on this sound pad. It's quite amazing. Almost like 6 full banks. Each bank have 8, so it's a lot of stuff. I'm always tapping and moving it. Anyway, so this week, finally, we've got some good news to talk about within the photography realm. As we know, Nikon dropped their 7200 millimeter f2.8 version 2. You know what? I got it something for that 2, and Sigma releases their 35 millimeter f1.8 DG art lens version 2, and that's pretty awesome. Also, there's some other little random lenses that are released that actually caught my eye. One is the 7 Artisans 40 millimeter f2.5, which I'm like, for $159, that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. First, let me get the chat showing here on the screen. Hey, Mushi, you already know. Let me make this text bigger. Let me make the text bigger. Let's see how we can do this here. There we go. I like that. I like it when it's big. You know? Hold on. Yeah, that's cool. Let me see if I do tall. Nah. Wide. Nah. I think regular. There we go. So I can easily read it. My eyes are shot. So with that said, we're going to be really talking a lot about lenses this week. And for good reason, because last week, I'm not going to lie, I was like pulling teeth. It was like pulling teeth from a tiger, trying to come up with like, what should I talk about? There wasn't really a whole lot of action going on that I wanted to talk about in particular. So this week with all these lens releases, this is great news. Sigma dropped, actually, not only did they drop the 35 mil, then they dropped the what was it? I think it was like a 15 mil for the DN line, which is their digital contemporary APS-C line. And I just got an email, which I'm sure a lot of you have too, if you're subscribed with, I think, Petapixel, another Sigma lens that they're about to release, which is crazy. So shout out to Sigma. Sigma is absolutely coming out strong. And which is good, because Sigma, to me, as I mentioned in the Coffee and Cameras podcast, Sigma is as good as the native lens. Can we be honest? Sigma, Tamron, if you get any of those 2 lenses, you're going to get native results. Okay. Whether you shoot, what would you shoot? You would shoot E mount, shoot L mount. You're up there. They've been in the game being a top tier third-party lens brands for years. So they have not only the relationships, the technology, the experience to create that native experience when you use their lenses on a Sony camera, Nikon camera, any L mount camera, which is great. And I think what also elevated them is all these China brands that are coming out with great optics, great prices, etc. And I think it kind of goes like this. Like, pricing wise, you're going to be like native glass, always more expensive, Tamron, Sigma, and then you have like the Suray, Viltrox 7 Artisans down here. But if you want like top tier performance, but yet not yet top tier price, I would look at a Sigma. I'd look at a Tamron. That's the way I would go about it. And as many of you know, I'm a huge advocate for Viltrox, not because they sponsor me, which I wish they did. Whoops. No, I actually, it's actually that. I wish they would, but I do enjoy the lenses. I do enjoy what I get out of them. But let's be honest, Sigma and Tamron have that experience, that legacy experience almost, if you will, of creating great optics for our cameras, right? So it's real good to see Sigma coming out with a few. Last week, we had Tamron with their 35 to 100, 2.8, which is great because I saw on Nikon rumors that Nikon might be, and I talked about this, I believe, last week, that they might be working on a 24 to 120. Oh, hold on. I have to get this one. 2.8. Now that would be mind-blowing. Now, my 24 to 120, I believe, is a 77 millimeter filter thread. It's a nice light lens. I really love that lens. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of lenses, but it's, constant aperture 4.0. It's right under $1,000. It's a great lens. So if they made that a 2.8, that thing it'd be hard pressed for people to not buy that lens. Unfortunately, that might dig into the Tamron lens, the 35 to 100, because if I was shooting Nikon, I'd probably go to 24 to 120, 2.8, get that extra stopper light for sure. My thing is, how much would it increase the weight, and would it increase the filter size, like to an 82? Because that's very possible in order to get all that luscious optics and aperture, right? So, but if they could do it, because think about, well, no, because it's 120 mil. I was about to say, look what they were able to do with the 24 to 70 version 2 lens. That was at 77 millimeter filter thread 2.8, but it only goes to 70, not 120. So anyway, if there's some way able to keep a compact and 2.8, I'd buy that thing in a second. I'd buy it in a second. So yeah, I hope it sounds like, well, I'm not even hoping. It's looking like it's going to be a nice year for lenses. Okay. This might be the year where we're going to be looking at these lenses and upgrading a few of them for sure. Honestly, that 70 to 200 2.8 version 2 lens, I might sell my current version. My full review of the 70, well, it's 24 to 70 f2.8 version 2 lens is finally about to drop. I recorded everything, got all the content, and after 2 months of using it, shout out to my buddy Anthony Good. He let me borrow the lens for all this time. God bless him. I can honestly say that lens is awesome. It really is an upgrade. Not all the time can I confidently say, hey, there's a version 2 of X lens, and I feel like it's worth the upgrade. I can say that the 24 to 70, as much as we all use it, meaning we all use the 24 to 70 2.8, probably the most zoom lens out of any lenses we have. And I could say Nikon hit it out of the box with that new version, the version 2. So I'm very excited to get my hands on the 70 to 200 2.8 version 2, because I was very, very happy with the performance and the overall usability of the 24 to 70. So I'm nice. And I like the fact that it says, anyway, we're going to get to that dang lens in a second. Okay. Let me get to some of these comments. Here we go. Oh, man. NYC effects in the house. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the $10 holla. Thank you very much. I wonder if my mic has 30. It would be interesting if I had 32-bit float audio in this thing, right? Because then if I scream, it won't distort. But anywho, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Any bit counts. And trust me, all I do is reinvest. That's what I'm all about to do. That's what I'm going to do with that. Well, after Google takes $3, I'll take the rest and reinvest into this show. And let me tell you, the plans I have to deck out this space, I want to be able to have a space when I move. Okay. I'm going to put 2 little chairs in the room, and I would like to invite a photographer over and we do a live stream in my studio space. Let me know what you think about that. I think that'd be dope, because I like doing the digital like podcasting, but if I get somebody inside and we chop it up face to face, that'd be really, really cool. So thank you very much, NYC effects. let's see here. Of course, I got drunk wedding photographer saying "Mooshi Mooshi." We got Roy Bigsby in the house saying, "Good day. The new Nikon 7200 looks nice, but my 77mm filters again." Yeah, it does look like a nice lens. I can't wait till we talk about it. The more Chinese lenses use plastic elements, the more flare we will get. That's true. But I will. That's why I'm not. Does Sigma and Tamron use plastic lens elements? I'm gonna beg to differ. Maybe they don't. Right. Here's the good thing. Right now, we have a tremendous, diverse collection of lenses. Like we got options galore. You want some Japanese? Sure, go to Tamron. You got Sigma. You want to save a little bit more, deal with the artifacts and all these things. You got the Chinese brands. Okay, hey, no shade on any of them because for me, it's all about the result, right? So I own Viltrox. I have I think 5 lenses from Sigma. I'd love to get my hands on Tamron, and of course, I got Nikon. You know, they're all tools to me. But you know, you do get what you pay for. Absolutely. Cooley's in the house. Hello. What a good brand for XQD cards for Nikon D850. Oh, what's a good brand? Honestly, I have Sony's, I believe. Hold on one second, Cooley. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got right here. Yeah. You can probably get these cheap now. You know, let me see. There we go. Let's see if it doesn't try to focus on my face. Well, let me get it back to my face. This thing's tripping. There we go. Bam. Okay, Cooley, check that out. See if that helps. XQD. This is what I have. I have 2 of them. Pink right there. Okay, that's what I have. So the rest of my big cards are CF Express Type B. I have a 2 terabyte, a 512, and a 128. Okay. I haven't looked at an XQD since I sold my what did I say? I sold my D850. And we have Johnny Sheena House. Morning, folks. I pre-ordered my copy of the 7200 2.8 version 2. Oh my God. That's what's up. That's what's up. I have to wait till I move and all that other stuff and get myself settled. All right, guys. So I'm going to live vicariously through your purchases. All right, John. I hope that's okay. Roy comes back and says, I'd love a 10 to 20 mil ultra wide zoom, please. Hello. That'd be nice. You know what? I would like. No, I have a 16 Viltrox, the 16 millimeter f 1.8 from Viltrox. I would like a lens like that for Lumix. I'd like it for my S5 Mark II and Mark IIX. So let's see. Roy says we are already pretty spoiled for lenses and cameras. That we are. There's really almost, well, I wouldn't say there's a bad option, but for cameras, there's really not a bad option. There really isn't. Like, some of you may know, but I was just out shooting a parade with the Nikon Z6 Mark III and the 24-70 f2.8 version 2 lens for 4 hours. You'll see it in the review. And it kicked butt. It was awesome. So Z6 Mark III. I still love using my S1, the S5 Mark IIX, even though that's a few years old. Any camera you have now that's like at least close to $2,000 or more is a great camera. It's really hard to say it isn't. Cooley says, hey, F2 for a 24 to 120 would be cool. Dang, an F2, that would be phenomenal. I'd take a 2.8 and be happy and get an extra stop of light in the Nikon. We got Damis 95. Will there be more lenses announced during this year, CP Plus, or is that it? Oh, I could almost guarantee you there'll be more. I could guarantee you there'll be more. Okay. you don't have those big festivals to not wait to announce lens releases, etc. I think that's why you have the 70 to 200, so they could talk about it during WPPI for Nikon, and I'm sure CP Plus as well. So Nikon is catching their pro lenses up with their vision of including video. They want to be that ultimate hybrid camera option for video or photos. They are not slacking. Therefore, now the lenses have to keep up. So all the version 2s are going to have video in mind. So I think it's just the beginning. I think it's just the beginning. Roy Bixby says most lenses these days have at least one plastic element. Oh, okay. Well, I'm rolling with the punches then, you know. I say that, Roy, because I'm sitting here with all my Viltrox lenses and I'm happy as a clam, but you know, what kind of plastic they're using, okay? Just keep it up. I don't know what to say. I'm you know, with the 70 to 200 version 2 lens, like when they said $3,200 for that lens, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, you know, dang, that's but thank God I have the version 1. So if I sell that lens, I'm only gonna, you know, maybe I sell it for I don't know, 1,800 or something, and I could at least make up for that. That's why I would consider the version 2 of the 24-70 and the 70-200. I just sell the old versions. Okay. But I was just at Mike's Camera, everybody. I was just at Mike's Camera in Dublin, California. And I was like, hey, because I just love the performance of the 24-70 version 2 lens. And I was like, hey, what would it be for me to sell the 24-70 2.8 version 1 Z lens? And guess what they said? Okay, guess what they said right here? Nope, they didn't say that. They said, we won't take it. That's what they said. They said they won't take it. Why? They already had 8 of them sitting in their used camera case. 8 of them. And they took one and put it for rent. That's how many they had. They're like, we wouldn't even take it. We wouldn't even take it because so many people have sold it to upgrade that now there's like extras out there. So if you have a version 1 and you want to go to version 2 for the 24-70 2.8, do it now. Because I'm going to do it as soon as I land and move. I'm going to get rid of that lens. I'm going to get rid of the lens. Matter of fact, I should do it now. Tell you the truth. Okay. So I'm just saying, same thing with the 70-200. Right now, I bet it's really hard to find the version 1 for sale. But in about 3 months, boy, oh boy, that's what I'm saying. Get ahead of the curve and upgrade. You know, be like John Ishii and hurry up and pre-order. Let's see here. Roy says the D850 does take CF Express cards too with the FW. Oh, with the firmware update. Okay, well, shout out. All right, Cooley. I hope that helped you out. There you go. Check that out, Cooley. And I have a Lexar. I have a Hoodman. This is like my go-to right here from Hoodman. 512 gig. I think I got this when I bought I want to say the Z9. They threw it in for free. So that was pretty nice. We got Sterling. Hey, Sterling X. What is it? QX? No, Sterling XX. All right. Well, I want to say one thing right now. Thank you for tuning into the Let's Talk Photography podcast. Whoops. 135 mil Plena doesn't take photos. It scopes light into silk and melts the background. Still my favorite of all time. I will have to second that, my friend. Okay. You're absolutely right. That lens, for me, when it came to prime lenses, the 85-1.4 was the king of kings. Now this is the king of kings. Now, many people will probably argue with me and say, no, the 85 f1.2. I beg to differ. The Plena, to me, is my favorite prime lens Nikon has made. It's a beast. but you need a hell of a lot of distance to capture some diverse shots. That's the only pain in the butt at 135. But boy, is the boat just, it's optically fantastic. So I second that 100%. Roy, oh, okay, he's talking to somebody. There we go. I'll update to the 7200 version 2 when my V1 stops doing what I needed to do. All right, kill it. Well, here's the thing. And I absolutely agree with you if you're doing stills. If you're doing stills and primarily doing stills, I could almost bet my bottom dollar you won't notice the autofocus performance difference in the version 1 of the 24 to 70 2.8 and the 70 to 200 2.8. I don't care what they say. You won't notice, your clients won't notice. You're going to kick butt. The big difference in the version 2, honestly, okay, is going to be shooting video. It is a no-brainer. And me shooting photos and video, and my content's made with Nikon cameras, shooting video, this 24 to 70 f2.8 version 2 for video is a no-brainer. It is so much lighter. It's so much more fun to use. Internal zoom is magnificently amazing, and it's a smaller filter thread. It's a no-brainer. Okay. You know what? Talking to you guys right now, I'm literally convincing myself to hurry up and get off, take pictures, and sell my lens. Okay. That's how good the 24 to 70 version 2 is. For if you shoot photos and video. If not, do as Roy is doing. Okay. Cooley says, moving to Michigan, are you? Yes, I am moving. Okay. I'm not I'll be over there close to Wolverine country. Go Wolverines. Okay, that's all I gotta say. John Ishii. I was just thinking of that, Roy, but after using the M2 version, the 24/7, it was so much exactly. So when the new 7200 arrives, let's see if I can still handle it. I can almost bet my bottom dollar you will. And what's great about that, from what I heard, is that minimum focusing distance is almost like a foot closer or something. So that's even better. I don't dislike. I think I mentioned last week that like I barely took out the 70 to 200, and it's because of the weight. Quite honestly, like that thing weighs a good amount. The 7200 f2.8, optically superb. It's fantastic, fantastic. But that thing does weigh something. Okay, knowing what they were able to do with the 24 to 70 version 2, and if they are able to, what they say, 20% lighter, smaller in terms of like filter size, dude, I'm so intrigued. I am intrigued. All right. John comes in with a question. Robert, I just sent you a super chat. Did you get it? I didn't see it pop up. My man, oh, well, looky here. Uh-oh. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. I have to give you 2 claps, okay? John, I have to give you 2 claps and Ric Flair, okay? Here we go.
I give you 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
There we go. All right. Thank you so very much. And yes, I just saw it. Ironic, it didn't pop up on my thing, which is interesting. I had to click on something else. That's so, well, sometimes that happens, I guess. That's technology. But I did find it. Thank you so very much for reminding me, because I would have felt so bad not letting you know and appreciating you for that. So thank you so very much. We're in the Blue Blazers. Was I? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, look who's here. The administrator of the channel. What's going on, people? What's going on, Derek? All right. Thank you very much for tuning in, brother. Good to see you. Let me see here. Boy, I am getting a lot. Oh, man, I'm so thankful for all of you keeping this chat up live. Let's see here. And where was I? Here we go. How much are they running on price nowadays? If you're talking about the 70 to 200, it's at $3,200, the version 2. the one that was just announced. I mean, that's a lot of bread. I know that, like, when compared to Canon and Sony, it's like right up there with $3,000. But I'm not gonna lie, that's not cheap. It was hard enough for me to spend on lenses above $2,000, maybe the primes. The zooms a little bit more justifiable because there's so much range and diversity when using those lenses, like the Holy Trinity lenses. But not gonna lie, like this thing we do is not cheap. It's not for the weak. It's really expensive. And that's why I made that video, that short video about, like, you know, f1.8 lenses are fine for 95% of us out there. And if that's what your pockets can allow you to grab, yo, rock on. It's great, because I'm shooting with a 1.8 lens right now. Okay. So at $3,200, don't, you know, if you can't do it, don't feel bad. But that's a lot. Let's just be honest. Cooley says, we'll have to come and visit. Awesome. Let me set things up first. Okay. Let me set things up. Roy says, if the 70-200 version 2 was f2, then I wouldn't care about the weight. You know what? I'll be right there with you. If it was a 2.0, I think pre-orders would already be, well, I mean, they can't sell out on pre-orders really, but it'd be in the news, okay, in the photography news world, that overnight, you know, I don't know, thousands of units already pre-ordered. You know, we get that stupid email from Nikon like, oh, you know, due to the popularity, it's going to take an extra few months. If it was a 2.0, that would be revolutionary. John says, you're my favorite. Hey, man, thank you so much, sir. I really do appreciate it. And I think, let me see, do I have anything funny here? No. I got a Ric Flair for you.
I do this for a living.
There we go.
I'm the best there.
There you go. I do this for a living. Okay, folks. Believe it or not, I'm hustling my butt this year to create content. If you haven't noticed, like I said, I'm still on my New Year's resolution of dropping a video every day. There hasn't been a day where I haven't dropped a video, and I'm gonna keep it up, whether it's a short vertical video or a horizontal, then or going streaming or whatever. Okay, hold me to it, guys. All right, and gals. Let's see here. Got oh, he said, Derek, my man. Good to see you. Yes, I know, Derek. Long time no see. Hey, Derek, if you want to jump on, let me know. Let me know if you want to jump on. Hold on. Let me get this link together. Whoops, did I just do that? I don't know if the link is live, but I meant to send that to Derek. Anyway, let me see. Can I do it like this? There we go. Let's try to get Derek on board, okay? Let's see if he's up in here. Bam. All right, I'm gonna text you right now. All right, Derek, if you want to jump on, you can, man. You can. I just sent you over the link. I just texted to you. All right. I'm blowing up my own live chat here. Have you guys done anything with ring flashes? You know, I haven't done anything with ring flashes in forever. I think I may have played around with it like 10 years ago. I don't do a whole lot of ring flashes. I think they're great for like insect photography, macro photography, stuff like that. But I just don't do much of that. Mine is mostly portrait. So my flash is off my camera somewhere on a stand. So, oh, that actually lets me want to share with you this coming week on Monday. I have a studio beauty editorial shoot that I'm going to be bringing to all of you behind the scenes content of. It's going to be great. I have a stylist, makeup artist, hairstylist, the whole bit. And we're going to shoot and create some portraits to submit to some beauty fashion magazines. So, you know, if you guys want to see some behind the scenes, maybe even go live, let me know down below, and I will make sure I stream live during that photo shoot. I don't have an issue with that. Okay. But of course, don't worry. I'm going to record behind the scenes content and bring that to all of you. I want to do more studio work this year, and also bring you my experience of doing studio work. Shoot. John says, the price of the new 7200 is 3200. Try the new M lens 3512. Knocked. Oh, wow. That's crazy. $9,600. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I'd be scared to review it. I don't want to ding it up or anything. That's crazy. Cooley says, I think Herb Ritz did some stuff with ring flashes. I bet. I just never have just my style of photography doesn't like need it a whole lot. I would do it for like maybe it would be pretty cool for wedding reception photos, right? Running around with a ring flash. I think that could be a very cool effect. A very cool effect, right? But just every day, I don't do those kind of portraits. That's the only reason why I haven't really gave it a shot. But go for it. Let me know how it works out. Like, I want to know. All right, so let's get on over to some of this here. Of course, if you like this kind of content, please smash that like, share, subscribe. All right, now there's this new thing called hype. You guys notice that? The hype button? That hype button is a new thing to let the algorithm know that you actually are interested in this kind of content. They keep coming up with new schemes for you to press some stupid button. You ever notice that? It was first likes would get you good. Like and subscribe. Like that was it. Now they want you to like, share, and subscribe. Now they want you to like, share, press the bell icon, and now hype the video. I mean, come on, YouTube. Like, this is crazy. I think, having subs back in the day meant you were interested in this content, but you could subscribe and never see my content. That's the weirdest thing. So it's like, create an algorithm that actually gives the viewers what they want and stop feeding them what you think they want. Then they wouldn't have to press a like, a subscribe, a share, a freaking bell, and now hype it up. What the heck is a hype? Jesus. I know people who don't get my streams and they're like, oh, I pressed the bell and I don't get your stream. And I'm like, well, you got to hype it and you got to do all this stuff. It's crazy. It's like I'm yelling at my own subs to support my channel. Like, hey, did you go ahead and do the song and dance yet? It's crazy. Anyway, please press that like though. Anyway, and of course, thank you so much for sounding off in the chat. I definitely love to see the chat going at it and tapping in. I love to hear what you guys are talking about. Where is the thing? Okay, here we go. By the way, this is cool. This is cool right now. I want to let you know, please, my email is down below in the description. Submit your portraits. Submit your portraits up to 10 megabytes. Okay, I posted it in the community section or tab of my YouTube, the details. And next week, I'm going to review your portraits. This week is all about natural light portraits. Okay, natural light portraits. Submit them. Email them to me via WeTransfer, Google Photos, whatever. Make sure your name is readily available. And then I'm gonna archive it. Well, put them all together, and then put in my Lightroom on Tuesday, and then Thursday I'm gonna critique them live. All right. Again, submit portraits, natural light only, no flash, no LED, natural light portraits only. All right. So go ahead, submit your photos. You could do 3 to 5, at least do 3, don't be cheap. Do at least 3 photos. And then my email is down below. Okay. I see Derek there chilling. Give me a hot second. And then make sure you go ahead and check out my latest portrait photography video. This one I share tips on how to use three great tips on how to utilize natural light for portraits, okay? Using bounce, contrast, and shadow and directional light. All right, I hope you guys like it. For some odd reason, you know what's funny? I will do a portrait about tips and I will hear crickets. I do about that little flash, the Codecs IT32, I get views. I don't know what it is. People love gear, but they don't like learning photography. Somebody help me out with that, okay? What is up with that? I do tips, crickets, gear that you don't need to get better. everybody watches. It's crazy. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just that's my rant of the day. All right. All right. Now, before we check out some of these comments, oh, okay. Look at this. I have to give it out to StreamYard real quick. They are always improving this damn software, this platform. Shout out to StreamYard because they always add new features and not making me pay for it. Like as long as you're paying for it, you get all these new updates, and they're always updating something, and it just makes my ability to give you a good live stream that much better. Anyway, let's go ahead and welcome my buddy Derek to the house. Well, hold on. I know I got my music. Oh, do I have my guest music? You know I need my guest music, folks. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna give him this. Okay, we're gonna give him this because I don't know what I did with my guest music, and that's why I sound like a fool right now. What happened to my guest? Oh, here we go for Derek. Yeah. All right, let that bass drop. Come on, people. Yeah, got Derek in the house.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we gotta let it hit, you know. Anyway, what's going on, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good, man.
Oh, real quick, brother. Hold on. We got something in the house right now. We got something. All right, we got some. Thank you very much, Derek. That's the sound when you come on here. Okay, I should welcome you as soon as the bass drops. Anyway, I want to give a big shout out to Roy Bigsby in the house. Hello. Thank you very much, Roy, and it's much appreciated. So, and you know what? Tell you the truth, it's 70 degrees. Do you feel that, Derek? It's 70 degrees here in the Bay Area. What the hell?
Man, I'm telling you that this, was it global warming?
I'm sweating bullets with this hat on. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
it
trying
was
to get
raining last week. All week it was raining.
I know it was raining cold. Now I'm sitting there like I should have been in my shorts, you know?
For real.
And not only that, I'm trying to support this Nikon thing and I'm paying for it. So how have you been?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Just, you know, life like kind of gets to you sometimes and you kind of get in a flow and you creatively you kind of just get out of it. So I'm trying to get back into my creative flow, you know.
Copy that. Hey, I feel I'm trying to get these words to not cover up your face. I'm not sure if you see it. Do you see me trying to adjust all these words?
Yeah, kind of. Hold on a second. I'm still trying to adjust myself over here too as well. Hold
on. I put it to the side.
Give me 1 second.
No worries. FYI, everybody, I like literally filled out a survey with StreamYard. I was like, stop doing this, do this better. Da, da, da. Like, I would love to readjust this text and put it in the center. That would be great. But you know, they don't listen to me. Yeah, they won't listen. But Roy, thank you so very much, man. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello. Thanks, Roy, man. Thank you so much. But I like Flash. I know, Roy. That's you and everyone else. It's just crazy. Here's my thing. It's crazy, like the difference. I mean, that latest video I put out, I'm proud of. Okay, and I'm like, this is great. This is good advice. But like a few people watch it. But man, I tell you, when I talk about a lens or a flash or something like that, which I'm happy to do, it's just crazy what gets pushed out there. I think partly because it's gear and even the algorithm is more sensitive to like pushing out gear content. That's just me. That's just what I think. But yeah, I'll stick to it. It's just what I think. John says, wow, cool. Great to see you in person, Derek. Well, Derek's going to be right back. He literally just stepped out for a second and here he is. And he's back. Holy cow. And then Roy said,
let me move my head to the side. Maybe
right there, brother. Well, yeah, Okay, you do see it, huh?
Yeah.
Roy says, I may have forgotten how to take a portrait or headshot without flash. Well, if you watch my latest video, Roy, I can help you with that. Anyway, I was just saying, well, Derek, you heard me. It was just like you put out tips and stuff, and then you put out gear stuff, they just go, people go, the algorithm goes ape. It just
Man,
pushes.
it's insane. It's
It
insane.
pushes. What do you
Go
think
ahead.
about that?
Um, man, like when I think about people actually just commenting on the stuff that like because they'll try to get you off of your peg. Like you'll be out there creating, and next thing you know, there's another release. And it's like, oh man, now I gotta get this lens. And it kind of stops you from creating, now that you like kind of obsessed with the actual, getting of this gear and you're excited about getting the gear. Now you forgot all about like what you started with when you started creating your work. So now it's like, oh man, anything that they can get you to get off of your peg so you can come over there and pay for their gear. Because they'll come out with 2 or 3 lenses that are like identical.
Totally. Totally. It is interesting that way. That's why I think even the algorithm is behind pushing gear topic, right? Because I
Mhm.
think even the advertisers are happy when they see us push gear stuff, merchandise. And then I swear it's like it's a thing, but I don't know. I just put out the video. It is what it is. Don't worry, folks. The next video is a gear review. So don't worry about that. Okay. So don't be upset. But the strategy of putting out one video every day does work. It has been working for me. You have no life though, but it works. So
Hey, you gotta get it how you get it, man.
get it how you get it, brother. Cooley says flash and blending natural light. I like doing that personally. I like trying to balance both. How do you
Mhm.
what do you flash or natural light, Derek?
Um, when I started, it was natural light, and getting into flash is fun and all,
Uh-huh.
but I tend to like I tend to like natural light a little bit more because then you kind of working with what you got,
Yeah.
and it's a challenge. If there's a challenge, you want to make it out to be like, oh yeah, maybe I can make it look like a flash. I can
Mm.
I can bounce some light in a darker area and make it look like there's actually some flash going, and then you don't have any kind of artificial light that you have to balance in the background. It's already just there.
Yeah, there are definitely times that I just really enjoy natural light. And
Mhm.
not to advertise my latest video, but if folks wanted to watch it after the stream, go ahead. I was shooting like underneath like this bridge thing, but there was so much bounce light coming from the concrete of the floor and the walls. I was able to like light her so beautifully that I was like, damn, this is working out really well. And it was just because it was just bouncing everywhere underneath the bridge thing, right?
Mhm.
But it worked out so well. And yeah, I think natural light is great because you can't control it. It is what it is,
Mhm.
right? So that challenge is
Nothing, a scrim gets you a nice good scrim, and
uh-huh.
you can turn it soft. You can soften the light. You can keep it harsh. You don't need to buy like flash stuff to actually have good photos, but it does have a unique look when you have flash. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It does add a great look, and it's nice
Mhm.
to immediately fill in the shadows, stuff like that. Personally, I mean, like most of us, we start off without a flash, right? But then I see
Mhm.
people who lean so much into flash that are like, I don't remember when the last time they took a portrait without one, right? And I think when you get that reliant on it, you get lazy in the natural, understanding the natural light that's given to us, right? You get a little bit lazy with it. And I think as portrait photographers, we're problem solvers. So the light is the light, solve that problem. Now give me
Mhm.
my photo. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I dig it, man. Yeah, I really do. Was about to say, in that video, I primarily used an f4 lens, and honestly, I had a great time using it. So I only mention that to people that like you don't need to have the most expensive lenses to capture great images. right?
You're at f4, so like you're in a sharper part of the actual lens. And having it at f1.8, you're getting all kinds of like diffraction and all that kind of stuff. So like
Yeah.
having it at
Yeah.
1.4, yeah, you're good. And just like you were saying, like if you got like natural light and whatnot, you have to deal with what you got in the area. That makes you want to look for things. You gotta search for it instead of having an actual flash where you can just move your flash wherever you want to. You gotta actually look for this actual area, make it look interesting if you're taking it. So it's like,
brother, you're cooking. You're cooking. Hey, that's real talk. I gotta get a soundbite that's like preach, something like that, because that's what you were doing. You're 100% right. And you're forced to look for the shot, to create the shot. I think that's one of the advantages of shooting with a prime lens, right? It's like you have to get up and move versus zooming in and using your 5-point toe zoom. And I think that also helps you to like oil the greases in your creativity. I like, here's one thing I've noticed a lot of people do that's a mistake: always shooting from eye level. Like I can tell when your portraits are always at eye level. And I'm like, damn, you don't want to like crouch down a little bit or stand on something. You know what I mean? So what's your approach to portraits, Derek?
My approach is, I mean, we were talking about gear, buying gear and actually like having like gas, you know what I'm saying, buying new equipment. But the object of photography, I think actually like that I approach it is I got to get better at that lens, however I can get it. You know, if I got a kit lens and I know it's like a 28 to 70 or something like that, and I know it's like a variable aperture, I know I can get the same type of look, even if it's a variable aperture, by just like, you know, keeping it in the same realm. Like you can still keep things in the same realm. If you're using a 70, you move a little bit closer, you can get that out of focus background. It feels like a 3.5 at the lowest, you know.
Yeah.
My approach is kind of like just get better at at understanding my equipment, understanding my lens, understanding what I can do with it. If I can bring one or two lenses, it's easier if I bring one lens, because then I'm not worried about the actual lenses that switching out lenses. I know what I got, and I can just like go ahead and just be creative. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. You know, sometimes we do overpack our shoots, right? I'm definitely guilty of it. And that's why sometimes I do like I'm only bringing 2 lenses. This past weekend, I'm not sure if you knew, but I shot at the Black Joy Parade. And at the only lens I brought was that 24 to 70. I mean, that's all I did bring, but I never was like, God, I wish I brought another lens. I was like, no, I would have missed like 3 shots by the time I switched the lens. And so I concur. I think you're absolutely right. Hold on, let's catch up to some of these comments because I am losing track here. EF Sue says, Robert, your webcam focus point is your mic. Well, hold on, brother. You know what? We gotta fix that. Okay, we gotta fix that right there, sir. All right, now it should be me. There we go. EF Sue, let me know if it's on me. Okay, I just pushed it up twice. I have the autofocus on autofocus. What is it? AFF. Okay, and so therefore, if it does notice the mic is closer, it's going to focus on the mic. Okay, so the autofocus is doing its job. I don't keep it on eye focus because if I show a piece of gear, it's going to look for my eye. Okay, you ever notice that, Derek? You put on eye detect. Eye detect is great if I'm not trying to show product like this, right? It'll always look for my face. So EFSU, thank you very much for letting me know. Cooley says, what does he say? Here we go. You travel with a wagon. Oh, no, I don't feel like traveling with a wagon, brother, just to do a portrait shoot. I'm bringing 1 or 2 lenses, and that's it.
Then you don't look like so much of a lick.
Yeah, you get robbed out here. You know, he doesn't live in Oakland. That's the thing. You know, with a wagon. What do I look like? And EF2 says, is carrying a reflector considered natural light? I would say yes, because the main light source is what's available, the sun, right? It's a reflector. It's not a source of light. It's a reflector, right? So you're modifying the light. All you're doing is decreasing the intensity, but bouncing it off and redirecting it. But it's coming from what? The sun. Now, if you're bouncing, let's say, from a off-camera flash, then the original source is artificial. Thus, you're bouncing flash, right? Derek, what do you think?
Yeah, you're bouncing. The available light is what the available light is. If you choose to use a flash or you choose to use the sun, like it. But natural light, it comes naturally. It comes from the earth. You know, it comes from fire. You can use fire. You can use I don't know, moonlight. Like those come naturally. That's you know, the light that you're actually getting from some natural element. So that's what I call natural light.
Totally. And if the light is bouncing from off the sidewalk, it doesn't become any less natural, you know, if it bounces off the wall or whatever. So same thing with your reflector. It's a reflector. It's not a source of light.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they're called light modifiers. Roy says, here he is right here. Is using an LED panel considered natural light? Absolutely not. It's a constant light. It's artificial. To put it simply, you have natural, artificial. Boom. Is it? I like using LED mostly for video, obviously, but for photos, it's a pain in the butt because you really need a lot of power to get like, if you want sharp, like unless you're just shooting at 1.2 the entire time. But then
it's created by a frequency. It's a frequency of light.
Oh,
it's not like a natural light, like a sun, where it's like it's there. It's like it's a frequency, so it's not natural light at all.
Yeah. It's a pulsing light, right? By so many hertz and whatnot. So no, that's a great point, Derek. Thank you for saying that. Roy says eye level means you need a taller model. You know, that's a good point too. My thing is like eye level portraits have its place, but if I look at your set of photos from X shoot, let's say from the shoot you did yesterday, and they're all here, and all you did was this, I mean, just shoot from here, I can tell, and it's boring. I'm not saying not to shoot from there, but sometimes get up a little higher, get up a little lower, get a little closer. Like composition is what? King. There you go. Composition is king for a reason. All right. So get out. Whoever keeps shooting. Next week, I'm not sure if you saw, Derek, but I put out a photo submission for people. And if I'm gonna rip them a good one if they send me some damn eye level photos all day. You're allowed one. If you're gonna send one next for the photo submission, everybody, if you're gonna send one, hold on, here we go. If you're gonna send your natural light portrait, you're allowed one eye level. After that, I'm just gonna go nuts. Okay.
I think eye level, if you have something eye level, it has to have like a supporting cast. It has to have something. It has to be intentional. Has to have some of the elements behind or around that kind of
makes sense.
Emphasizes the fact that it's actually eye level. Like it should be a reason for it to be eye level, not because it's an accident.
That's true. And to what Roy was saying, like even when I shoot models, I don't like shooting them at eye level per se. I actually like, if they're further away, shoot them more toward above their waist, like their chest, and get a good for proportionality of the human body, right? If you're shooting up at high level, you're making the feet look smaller. And vice versa. And if that's your intention, that's cool. Some people do that. But like when people are like, that's my great photo, I'm like, no, okay. So
you like a lot of Dutch angle shots, like.
Well, that's a composition. I do like Dutch angle, but I mean, in this photo here, truth be told, it's Dutch angle, you know. But She doesn't look unproportional from the top of the frame or the bottom of the frame. She looks like she looks the same size. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Like her head doesn't look smaller or vice
Mhm.
versa to her waist. That was with the 24 to 70 lens, everybody. Version 1. All right. It's not the new one.
I guess you can eliminate a lot of that too, is if you get like a longer lens, you don't have such a steep angle
Yeah,
from the
that's
feet
right.
to the head.
Or just step back, right? Step further away
Mhm.
from your subject too, if that's what all you can do. But I'm just, but oh, yes, you can work around that, but
Yeah.
most people don't. They just shoot like this the entire time, and I'm like, damn, okay, that's how you want to roll. Um, Variable aperture lenses screw up the lighting settings. Yes, um, I can see what you mean, right? As soon as you
Mhm.
zoom, it like drops a stop or two, like, and that could be annoying.
Mhm.
You know, work with what you got. Um, I'm gonna say for some people, it's best to hurry up and get into at least an affordable prime lens, like a 51.8, something like that. Like Derek, isn't that what was the first prime lens you bought after when you got into the 6700 or 6600, whatever you got?
You mean before when I got to the 60-7 was my very first out of like all camera
No, no, no.
equipment,
In
or
in
just like
in the Sony, when because you had a variable aperture at first, right?
yes, yeah, I think it was
Then
like
you
a 16 to 60 or something like that,
and then
or
what was your first
something.
prime though? What was your first prime?
My first prime was a 20 mil 1.8 because
Dope.
I was getting into video,
Okay.
and then I got a 33 millimeter since
Okay.
it's an APS-C, and that's like a
Oh
50
yeah.
millimeter, and that was a 1.4, and I was using it for video and portraitures.
Dope.
But that variable one wasn't bad. I just had to understand what aperture. I had to understand light. I mean,
Um,
it could throw off your settings, like variable aperture could throw off your settings, but if you know what zoom and what aperture is going to be at that zoom, you can control that with a nice ND filter,
yeah.
and you just got
It's
to
a pain in
move.
the butt. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it is a pain in the butt, but if it's automatic, if you do it all the time, it gets automatic. You do with a lot of practice, you get like quicker at a lot of things. So that's why,
That's true.
like, if
That's
I
true.
use the variable aperture for a minute in order to understand that, okay, like if I move this way or move that way, it's definitely going to change that. And then after I do it a certain amount of times, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this. It's not even that bad, really. But yeah, to each their own. Like some people are just like, oh yeah, I just don't even want to deal with it anymore. Like I
Yeah.
understand, I completely understand that. But there is like there's some workaround, definitely some workaround. Not many
Yeah.
people
Well,
like it.
I'm too lazy to be working on anything. AF2 says eye level or not make or not make a difference when shooting wide lenses. Oh, yes, but you get other things when shooting with wide lenses, right? Distortion and all those other things, right? Vignetting when it's super wide open. So, there's pros and cons to every lens. And as to what Derek just said, it's like know what those imperfections are and do your best to work with it, you know? And I've yet to find a superb, perfect lens per se. Like that
Yeah,
perfect lens, might be an 85 and you can't use an 85 everywhere, right? Because then when you need a 24. So like there's no perfect anything. And but I still stick to my thing. Stop shooting everything at eye level. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. I should get a shirt. No eyes, no eye level. EFC says eye level makes models look shorter. Exactly. Because you're putting the lens element is further distance from their feet now, right? That's why I would drop to one knee, shoot more toward the waist or chest, and then everybody's proportional. But if I made a video about it, I'll get like 2 views. So we won't be
so
making a video.
would it make a short model taller?
Well, that's why you would maybe you would get down and shoot more up, right? Like here's your lens, right? So if you shoot down, yes, proportionally, she will look a little bit taller. If I'm if I'm shooting, here she is, and I bring the lens down, yeah, I'll make her look taller, right? Make her look bigger. And that's why they call it the hero pose when you're shooting upward. But also naturally, most people when they go down, the lens goes like this, right? So if this is the model, the lens will go a little bit like that when they get lower, thus creating that hero shot. But then it's really because their body's out of proportion after you took it, because the top portion is away from the lens. Anyways, but the bottom portion is big and strong, closer to the lens. But nonetheless, hey, I do both. I do it all. And then if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm just saying, if you send in 3 or 5 photos and they're all from eye level, that's almost like you're not even trying.
Yeah.
If your knees are bad,
especially
folks,
if
get a
you're shooting
chair.
flat too, as well.
Say it again. Yeah, exactly.
If you shooting flat, if it's like if you have no angle on your actual lens at all, like if it's not tilted back or tilted forward or anything like that, if it's just flat, the image looks flat. It just doesn't have anything.
I think there's like no wrong way per se. Like there's a rhyme and reason, but if you don't know the rhyme or the reason when you use it, that's where it gets really ugly. As you said, flat, right? Sometimes you do want that. If you're shooting digitals for a model, you don't want her legs to look longer than what her upper portion of her body is. You do want flat, right? Because you want to represent her comp card to be like, that's the way she looks. But if you do this way and this way toward the model, now you're messing with the proportions of her body, right? And that's not a good time to do it. But for fashion photography, you may want that. Like you said, you may want to do those things. So everybody just learn how to fucking shoot. No.
Anyway. Stop buying all this gear. Stop wasting your money. Just use your lens.
Yeah. And watch my videos about portrait tips. Okay. Stop watching my gear shit and watch my portrait tips. For heaven's sakes. Anyway. Nick saying hello, legends. Thank you, brother. And here. And then John Ishii says, gotta go, guys. Gotta shoot a Mr. Woo video for you guys. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Hit the Ric Flair.
Huh?
Woo.
Yeah, woo. Oh, let me give him a
the Ric Flair.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I do this for a living.
There we go.
I'm the best there is.
There we go. Thank you, Ric Flair. I appreciate that vote of confidence. I do this for a living. Ric Flair has the best sound bites. Him and Ultimate Warrior, stuff like that. No, Macho Man.
Randy Savage.
Yeah, Macho Man had the best. He be out there talking the most ish. Yeah, this summer, it was a Summer Slam. You thought I was down and out. No, sir. He be talking. You ever watch the old stuff, man? Dude.
Every now and then I'll go back and watch some of the older stuff. I was like, I can't believe I like this stuff.
You know what? But the confidence in the ish talking.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Ric Flair? Did you watch the Ric Flair documentary?
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, you got to watch the Ric Flair doc, because he has a pretty impressive startup. And like, he was, they were from the beginning, the OGs. But boy, he was, you got to give that man a fantastic fat AAA for confidence. That dude was just.
They definitely knew how to act, man. Their acting skills was A1.
For real.
Sauce.
It was entertaining, but for all these sound bites, Ric Flair and all them is great.
I give you 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Anyway, thank you, John. John's been a member of the channel, I think, for about 3 months now. So I really appreciate his support. Appreciate everybody's support. In the meantime, in between times, everybody, please go ahead, smash that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Okay, turn around 2 times, tap your nose, and press that hype button, because that's what YouTube wants people to do now. They want them to do everything. You know what I like?
Put advertisements up for you.
They still will not show you when I go live. They will still not show you when I post a new video. It's absolutely crazy how much you have to do. Cooley says, how did you guys set up your charging stations? Oh, good question. Derek, you want to talk about your charging stations?
Well, luckily for me, I don't have that many batteries, so like it's like I just have a simple charger.
Mm,
I'll have it on like a what do you call it? A surge protector. Like I have
okay.
like a few of them on a surge protector, and so I don't like blow out my batteries. But other than that, like yeah, I don't have that many batteries. If you got a lot of batteries like that, it's like you're recycling those things like crazy.
Then I'll shut up. I have two places. Derek, you know my space. I have two places that are just dedicated to charging crap when I need it. And I always charge like 2 days before X, whatever that shoot is, 2 days before. I never do it the night before because I'll get like paranoid about did I forget something. I always start prepping. Right now, right outside of frame, guys, like I have so much stuff because on Sunday I'm shooting a doc. Derek, if you want to come help me, that'd be awesome. But you don't have to, obviously. But I'm shooting a doc and in Sausalito area, Tiburon.
Mhm.
And so I have so much stuff packed up, ready to go. I have three. I'm gonna shoot the talking head video with three cameras, three Lumix cameras. And so I'm charging up like what do you call it? The V mount batteries, the Lumix batteries. I have so many batteries charged, it's crazy.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
My VMAX battery, it loses charge over a period of time. Does yours do the same thing?
Did you get the Nikkor battery?
I don't have a newer battery. I have,
Oh, you have the Z something, the Z Cinema, right?
I
Copy
don't know if you
that.
see it.
Oh yeah, Z Gens. I haven't used their battery, but
I charged it up maybe like 3 days ago, and
dang.
now it's at like 78%.
Wait.
I haven't even used it.
Yeah. But you have the stuff plugged in though, right?
Yeah, but it's not on.
Yeah, but I think it's still drawing from. I know, like, as soon as I plug mine in, it's drawing from it, right? Because it notices it's connected. So I always unplug it when I'm not using it.
Gotcha.
The D tap and the plugs. So as soon as I notice that it's noticing there's something that for it to notice means it's drawing power from the battery. I was like, oh, screw
Yeah.
that. Bloop, bloop. Unplug it.
Mm.
Totally. But my battery's
'Cause I
never
thought it
dropped.
would just like cut off. I thought it would just like since
Nah.
the V mount battery adapter on the backside is turned off.
Oh, so your plate has a power off switch?
Yeah, it has a dedicated power off switch on the side here.
Hold on,
I
let
don't know
me
if
see
you
it.
see it. I don't know. Can you see
Oh.
that?
Oh. And everything's plugged to that plate?
To the plate. Yep, nothing's plugged to the battery, but it still drains the battery.
Does it notice that something's plugged to it? Just try what I'm doing for like a week and see if it works. Unplugging
So
everything when you're not using it. You know what I mean?
you can see everything is like plugged into the actual mount
Plate.
here.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Hey, try this out for 1 week. Take off the battery after you charge it full, and just and then see what it does in 2 days.
Okay.
Right. And then see, like, oh, if the battery just sits there for 2 days and it goes down 20%, clearly it's the battery. If not, put it on the V mount, see for another 2 days. Oh, it's because everything's still plugged in.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that happened with, well, it didn't go 20%, but I noticed that like it's drawing. So I turned it off, but I don't have a plate with a power on off switch. It's directly connected to the battery. So I unplug everything. All right. And it's sitting around like a month, it'll drop 2% or something. You know.
So, I mean, I knew it was gonna, drop, a little bit, but I didn't think it was gonna drop as significant as it did before. So because it takes a while for that V mount to charge or that battery to charge. So
Over 20% is wild.
Yeah.
So definitely check that. And I hate to keep, beating you over the head. the Nikkor batteries, believe it or not, they've been holding up, and they during Black Friday they were $59. Like that's pretty
Gotcha.
cheap. That's pretty cheap.
Mhm.
Okay.
That is cheap.
So, anywho, I'm not gonna say it anymore, but you already know what I'm gonna say. And let's see here. I think we hold on. Gotta go. How did you guys set up your charger station? Oh, seems like I started a week before. Oh, okay. He started a week before when he comes to charging his stuff. And then Nick says, let's stir the pot up a bit. To call light artificial implies fake light. Well, yeah, it's manufactured light, 100%, Nick. I mean, you could call it fake light in a sense that it's not, it is fake. It's like we made it up and compared to what the sun gives us, 100%. I don't think I don't even think you're stirring the pot. I think it's just you're just preaching. You're telling the truth, right, Derek? I mean,
Yeah.
LED light or any artificial light is fake light, technically. You know, we're
It's
like
man-made light.
yeah, it's man-made. There you go. It's man-made. That's great. That's a man-made light, which has a time and a place, right? EFSU says vampire power sucks power even when they are off. Yeah, it's wild. But Derek has an on-off switch, so that's what makes me curious. You know, that's
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second. Is it actually off, or is it like still kind of like, I don't know, maybe it has to drain because like if it doesn't drain, then it has a memory in the battery or something like that it won't be able to charge fully, or whatever the case may be. I can't tell you, because I know when I had a Godox flash and the battery got past a certain percentage, and I didn't charge it for a period of time, it didn't even work. And it was for my 8400. It just stopped working. I was like, wait a second, now I got to send this battery in so they can open it up and then charge it up to the point where it can actually charge. It would, because it got past a certain point where it wouldn't even charge at all because it just failed. And
yeah, I know
maybe that's
some are like that. Where if you just let it sit forever, it will eventually not be able to charge. Like they're like charge it every once in a while, like warming up your car in the winter, and that is wild. But again, it is vampire power. So there you go. Cooley says, I have 3 banks that I have remotes to turn off each. Damn, that's what's up. It's cool. And my Nikkor V mount wasn't $59. I'm just saying from the it was Black Friday. Black Friday had some crazy deals. If it wasn't 59, it was 69. Like it was a deal where I almost bought a third one. Okay. And but I've had mine for 2+, maybe 3 years now, and it's kicking like a mule. They're great. So I've been shooting. I shot at the parade last week with them. And then the week before that, I shot at the Midway venue, that event venue. I shot there for some Chinese New Year techno event or electronic music event. And the battery kept on ticking. I shot for like 3 or 4 hours, and it was only at like 60%. It was awesome.
See, if we had 2 of those things, you go for weeks.
I did bring 2, but on one, when I got home, it was only like 60-something%. I was like, damn. So, and it was powering everything. You know how we do it. It was powering everything. I was like, damn, this is good. EFSU says, just like cable and satellite boxes, off, but they still use power on standby. Absolutely. Well, I don't assume anything, that's why, like, even when mine and you plug in the plug, the stuff might not be on, but it does say it notices when power's being drawn or something's plugged to it. And so I'm like, I assume it's on, but a very low amount, right?
Yeah.
And so that means it's on
it's
to
like
me.
A trickle.
Yeah, it's like a trickle, 100%. 100%. Roy says, my Cineback has a master power switch. Pity the ZR doesn't have a real power switch. You know, I think a lot of people like the ZR is pretty awesome, like what Nikon did, but I think people expect so many cinema things from the ZR, and it's just not that. You know, it's a stripped down version of a Nikon Z6 Mark III. Okay, people,
It's a
I'm sorry to bring you,
project.
and it could. What in the flip flap jack is that music? I don't know what in the hell that was. What in the flip flap jack was that? You know, so music started playing. I started talking mess about the ZR. The music started playing. And the thing about the ZR, you have 32-bit float audio. That's cool. And you have the red codec and the form factor. Outside of that, it's a Nikon Z6 Mark III, 4K 60 no crop, 6K 60 no crop, ProRes, and all that other stuff. Okay, and a
Yeah, it
4-inch.
was a project. It was a nice
Yeah,
project that they
it's like
did, and they paid homage to Red and buying Red, and then making something affordable for people to kind of get into entry level.
yeah, and it's like people keep talking about like, oh man, it doesn't have da da da. And it's like this camera is too cheap to have everything. Are you kidding me? It's $2,000. It was meant to be, I think, 1999. I'm not gonna say who told me. But he's like, because of the tariffs, it was $2,100. So for a camera that's like 1999, it's a pretty damn awesome camera. But like outside of those few things, and most of you folks watching me right now are not using red files. Stop it. You're not. I shot, hey, Derek, that parade I just shot, I shot it in
Mhm.
ProRes HQ. Okay. And I shot for about 4 hours over 208. It was 208 files. I counted. Okay. I did the thing and I counted 208 files. You know how much space that ProRes took up? It was almost 750 gigs. Okay. 750 gigs for ProRes HQ. You folks are not using red files that often. Okay. Knock it
Mhm.
off right now. Okay.
No, you have to have a dedicated like hard drive connected to your belt just for that
Man,
thing.
I'm just saying 750 gigs. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I was shooting like 1 minute here, 2 minutes there, you know, just like the last time.
Yeah.
750 gigs? What are you guys talking about? Like, if my Z63 shot red, that'd be great. I'll do it for fun. But like, I would no, unless you're paying me for this project. Like, screw that. That's a whole hard drive.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you really have to have like a hard drive connected like to a individual external hard drive to connect to your camera just to be able to run that. Just if you want a lot of
and a
content,
good laptop. And a good
yeah,
laptop.
that too. You're not using an Apple laptop.
Man, you gotta get that
You
Pro.
use
What did you got? The MacBook Pro.
yeah,
uh,
you gotta get an M15.
man, I just don't like. Oh, I got a ZR, and I know them, and I'm like, what are you doing with red files? Like, let's just be honest, okay, folks. H.265 10-bit is fine for most of you schmoes out there. I'm just putting it out there, okay? Let's be honest. It's good enough for me. All my YouTube videos you guys see, H.265, 10-bit. Hello, okay? If you want a little bit more flexibility, use Vlog or Nlog or whatever, right? There you go. That's fine for
The only
all of
thing
you.
that got with me, the only thing that got me with that ZR was like it was a no go for me. The fact that they had that micro HDMI cable.
Oh, yeah. And I wish it had CF Express card. That would be nice,
That
right?
too, yeah,
That would be nice, not a micro and an SD card, right? So, and which
yeah,
is fine. I'm not poo-pooing on it because the price is right. You got what you
yeah.
pay for. That's why I didn't buy it because I'm waiting for something like a true red, like a scaled down red / Nikon cinema camera, or the S1H Mark II. Hello.
They try
Uh,
to blend it. They try to blend it between beginners and amateurs too much. I think with the amateur like videographers instead. because doing the whole the beginners type, like all the stuff that beginners have on their cameras. I know they want to keep it cheap, but that was just, I don't know. There's some questionable things to actually get that camera.
I think the ZR is a good, like, hey, if you've been shooting Nikon, here's like a great, as you said, starter video reg camera, right? I mean, for $2,000 is not a lot in today's world, and it is pretty fail proof. Like, you can easily use that camera. It's a really easy camera to use. And it gets you in the door. You get used to using reg files if that's what you want to do. I still think the Z6 Mark III is just fine for most of the people that are looking at.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
It's the best hybrid camera. You get photos and video. And the only thing difference is, and you know what? I got a CF Express Type B card. Hello. And the only thing you don't get the reg file. Whatever. Let's check out these comments. Cooley says today's phrase that pays. There you go. Is the phrase that pays. Okay, flip flap, flip flap, flap flap flip. And then, oh, look at this, a new name. I don't know who this is, but thank you for tuning in. Hopeful. Hey, I am too, man. I want a cinema rig from Nikon. That'd be great. I had to cage my ZR because I couldn't stop the habit of putting it up to my eye when using it. You know what? With that 4-inch screen, that 4-inch screen is magnificent.
Okay? It's beautiful.
It's great. Like I want all the cameras to have it. But I can see what you mean. A lot of people who've been shooting stills religiously with Nikon, the ZR, you're like, I want the eyepiece. It's not made for it. It's not made for that. It's not made for, it could do photos, but you're not buying it to do photos. Okay. You want that camera to do photos and video, buy the Z6 Mark III or buy a ZF.
The only competitor it has is a Blackmagic Pro Pocket Pro. That's the only other camera that has a screen that's that big and has. I don't think it nearly has the amount of definition and
detail.
As, the ZR, but it's still a good camera.
Roy says the ZR H265 isn't as good as what comes out of the Z8. True, but my Z6 Mark III never overheated. Hello. Okay. I have had my Z8 overheat when I was shooting a wedding. I was doing photography, and that thing overheated. It was like 105 in San Jose a couple of years back. And I think from the heat of me holding it, plus the heat of the day, the damn thing overheated on me. Thank God I had the Z9 for the win. And I was still able to shoot. No one noticed the difference, but it said cool down. Now, I never had that happen with the Z6 Mark III. Just saying. And honestly, let me say this, because it needs to be said. Like people, like when it comes to these codecs, like, first of all, you have to know how to color grade. Most people watching me right now are not colorists. Okay, let's just be honest. I'm not a colorist. I know how to work with it because I've been doing it long enough, but I wouldn't call myself a colorist. You need the space, the capacity, and the hard drive to really, and the RAM to deal with all these large files. And your client, they may want to repurpose it for a million things. So yeah, they may have an editor for all that stuff. But on an average day-to-day basis, like, who on the good God's green earth would notice if you shot H265 in ProRes and you put it on YouTube? I'll hold on. Nope, we don't want that. I want this. Well, no, I'm pressing everything but the one button I want. I'm gonna wait for everyone's answer. Here we go. Okay, there we go. That's Derek. Anyway, but that's the truth. It's like when they're like, oh, I'm gonna post a photo on the internet. You could have took it with a pocket camera, right? A point and shoot to a Z6 Mark III. If it's fantastic, it's fantastic. Like, you're not gonna know. It's a compressed file. You know, you can shoot at 6K all you want, but when you upload it to YouTube, it's at max 4K. Okay, so I'm just like, someone prove me wrong. Get on my stream and prove me wrong that if I've actually recorded videos with 6K, 24 frames with the Z6 Mark III. And then when I upload it again, no one's ever said, wow, that must have been a 6K. No, it's because it's edited on a 1080 timeline still. Then I upscale it to 4K when I upload it and everything. Like nobody, are you kidding? I mean, when I export it and then I put it up as 4K, no one knows. Okay, and no one's ever unsubscribed because they're like, I noticed what you did there. Like
you can't really tell.
Can't notice. I think codecs. Let me get off this comment. Derek, tell me if I'm wrong. Codecs matters most when you want and need that dynamic range flexibility, filmmaking, running and gunning, maybe, right? Because you're going from indoor, outdoor, stuff like that. And then the second thing is how to color grade it, right? You know how to edit it. All right.
Yeah. And you're a single person, like you're a singular person. Like if you're doing stuff for like a production crew, and they need you to shoot in a certain codecs, is because they have different colorists, they have different people that work with different softwares and stuff like that. So having all that information is good for
the editor.
Variety of different people. Not just for one person. If you're one person, you're only going to edit it the way that you like to edit it. So what's the reason to having all that stuff?
I was listening to Brandon Washington, right? His channel. I like watching his live stream, and even they're like, dude, when I record in red now, I'm at the point where as soon as I'm done, I erase everything. Like it takes up too much space. But they're shooting for commercials and stuff. If you're just shooting for fun and kicks and giggles and stuff, like, dude, no one will fucking know as long as the end result looks amazing. Okay, the end result.
You gotta have a server. You have to have a server for all that information,
man. Okay, hold on. Where are we at? I can't stop that. Oh, here we go. We have Darth Prime. I like that, Darth Prime. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Hopefully the tariffs are removed and Nikon prices Z6 III, ZR, and future cameras go down. The new 7200 2.8.2 is too rich for me right now. Yeah, 3200, even though it's in line with Sony and Canon, is a bit much. If you have the version 1, I'm gonna almost bet my bottom dollar it's worth selling it to upgrade. But I was thinking about that when the tariffs got struck down by the Supreme Court. I got to make a video about this. What do we think? Is it going to actually trickle down to camera companies? I'm going to almost beg to differ and say, no, it won't. I don't think it will. These camera companies have such a tight margin where like they're not going to give up on it. First, they paid a bunch of tariffs for the inventory that's already here. Okay, think about that, Derek. They already lost money and it's here. You think they're going to lose it? And just because? No, maybe on future, where if they're nice, it's going to be like when they added the tariffs. Like Blackmagic will be the first company to take away the tariffs and then everybody else follows, right? So they won't be the only one trying to nickel and dime us. But I think it's going to be hard pressed. I've never seen a company like reduce regular prices on their gear when they don't have to. Because
when they got a taste of it, they're like, "Ooh, we can get this amount more." Oh yeah, people are paid for it too.
Yeah, they still paid for it. All of us still paid it. So like, that's why I'm like, and I'll have to give.
It made sense too because of the tariffs. They just used it as an excuse.
Yeah, they probably just raised it. I mean, do we really think it cost them that much more? I don't know, but I could tell you one thing. They're in it for money. They're pro-profit. And I don't know. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, guys. Okay. I would love for the Pixel 6K to go back to right under $3,000. Right. So anywho, I'm not holding my breath. That's what I will say. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, okay. Here we go. Eve Sue says, best bet, learn proper exposure. You do not need red dynamic range. Absolutely. Proper exposure and good lighting. You need to spend more money on good LED lighting. Okay. You need to know how to use lighting. and you could learn some by watching my latest video about natural light portrait photography tips. Okay, that's a little segue right there, Derek. So watch my video. No, but on a real, wouldn't that be better use of money? It's like proper learning, proper exposure, and better lighting.
Understanding lighting as well, understanding
Shoot.
different moods, how to get lighting in certain situations, especially like if you see if you see a dark side of a person, like right here on this side, like adding a little bit of light to it adds some element to it to catch somebody's eye. Like it doesn't always have to be dark. It doesn't always have to be. Just manipulate the light how you see the mood in your actual video or whatever you're trying to portray.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that you can do. No matter all the gear that you have, all the the crazy stuff, just understand what it means.
Learn lighting. Spend more time on that, and then buying good lighting too. King Crook says, Rob, he's cooking. Hold on, here we go. He already knows what I want, what he wants. Here we go. It was because of King Crook. I downloaded that sizzling because he's like, you're cooking. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this. I do have this one. This one I do like is I have a thing called Coffee and Cameras, which is a morning like 9 a.m. podcast show. And I have this one for coffees and camera. You know, there you go. Coffees and camera. These things are too much fun. Cooley says, don't they have fans? Dang it, I'm not sure what he was talking about. We talked about so much
the Z6 Mark III or one of the Z8 maybe. I think maybe the Z8 is what you were talking about.
Does it have
that
fans?
was better than the because it was overheating. What did you use that was
right
overheating?
now. I'm looking at it right now, but it's all like rigged out to like record my YouTube video. I can't see it from here, but I'll tell you one thing: it overheated. That's all I can say. I don't care if I had a fan or it didn't. It still had.
Why don't Nikon put fans on it? You got all these other companies. Well, not all the other companies, but
Lumix.
Most companies do have like fans. Like Lumix has fans on their cameras. On their Sony has fans on their camera. Canon has fans on their pro cinema line camera.
But let me say this. I think because Nikon has been well regarded by still photographers for so long, and adding a fan is going to add size somewhere, whether it be in the back or in the viewfinder area, that they're hypersensitive to people's response about the size of their cameras. Does that make sense? And like I have the S1H. Yeah, it's a beefy camera. Why? Because there's a fan where you can record 4K 60 unlimited, like forever, right? So people's and remember, you're trying to educate the benefit of that ability to still photographers who don't need it and hasn't needed it and never wanted it from Nikon. So it's that too. Does that make sense? Sony would be a little bit easier because people buy Sony for video, right? So I think it's kind of that too. So it's like this weird balance. But Lumix has been able to the S5 II, S5 IIX, S1 II. They're all pretty the same size and they're pretty small, and they all have built-in fans. So to your
point, GH5 has a fan.
Oh yeah, a GH6, GH7.
They have fans in them. Yeah. So it's like, wow. And they're smaller cameras too. They're not like huge cameras.
But the consumer is different.
Yeah.
You're buying Lumix for video. You don't say, oh, I'm going to create you could create great stills with Lumix 150%, but the perception is video for Lumix, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you would expect a fan, unlimited record time. You would expect open gate, you know? All right. Roy Bigsby says, those that have already paid tariffs won't see that money again. Yeah, and that's why I think they would be slow to taking the tariffs off. I'll be quite honest. They may, you know what? Here's a thing. Here's a thought. Derek, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. They may take him off if it actually goes through and it's illegal, etc. and they do take it off, it'll be during the holidays. Won't look like they took it off because of the tariffs. They'll give us a discount and then keep it at that price. What do you think, Derek?
I think they're gonna keep it at that price, regardless, because they like that money. You know, they like that money.
But
We
the thing
all like that money. We don't like giving the money away. We like the gear, and we don't like giving the money for the
all right,
gear.
fair
And
enough.
then the companies, they want your money, and they'll give you the gear. So it's like,
But look, when the tariffs were added, it only took one company, and then the rest followed. Right? I think it
yeah,
started with was it Black Magic? I think Black Magic was the first, and everybody folded. So reverse Uno card would be if one, because they could hide it in the holidays, right? Oh, discount, and it's really just a regular price, and then they just keep it there, right? It would look, no one would pay any mind, and it just requires one company to do it. If one company, which one would you think would go first?
which one?
Yeah,
Hmm.
which company take off them tariffs?
So the company that has maybe the most deals that I've known in my time in photography and videography, they have the most deals, and they're pretty competitive. A
Okay.
lot of companies do have deals, but I would say like probably like Sony or something, because more people use Sony. Um, Nikon would probably do that if so, because Nikon is well, recognized. People buy Nikon, and I don't know, not really Canon. Canon's kind of gotten to this like they kind of got into this thing where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna really charge people, because once they went to the RF mount, they kind of just like kept that to themselves. You can't really get too many RF mount,
Third
second
party.
party, lenses and stuff like that. So I think it'll probably be Sony and Nikon at that matter that will probably keep the prices down. But I still don't see it, because when they do actually keep it there and they want to discount it again, I don't think they're gonna try. If you go too low, you can't really get any return out of it. If you go too low, you're like, oh man, if I discount it again next holiday season or whatever the case may be, then it's going to be like, oh, we're losing what we were getting before like the tariffs are starting to kick in. So if they do, then they're kind of just doing it as a favor to people, instead of like doing it for their own benefit. That's
Here's my thing. I think if any brand would, it'd be Black Magic again. Okay, I'll tell you why. Black Magic during Black Friday after the tariffs discounted the Pixel 6K to like a ridiculous amount. I should have bought it. It was like, I want to say it was 2,300, 25. It was so I should have bought it.
Didn't I show that to you? I showed that to you
Either way,
time.
The point is that they dropped that price that low. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was real. And they were was it $299 for it was $2,900, for the Pixel 6K, and then they raised the price $300 because of the 10% tariffs, right? So for them to lower it back is nothing, and then claim it's a sale, because that's what it was originally manufactured to be, $2,999. Now that those cameras would be long in the tooth by then. It would be at least a couple years old. They have room to wiggle, right?
Yeah.
So them dropping it a little bit more, or at least keeping it there, wouldn't be no harm, no foul. But it would create the noise and the buzz that, oh, look, they just lowered it back to the price that we originally saw it for. The Pixis 12K was back to $5,000, right? But to everybody else, it's like, oh, that's a dope discount, $500 off. I think Black Magic would be the first one, because they were the first ones to increase, but yet give us that Pixis 6K for like $2,300. Damn,
What's the resale value? What's the resale value on those cameras?
You know what?
On a 6K.
Hold on, Pixis 6K. Let's see. $2,800. Damn, who the hell? 2,900. Well, see, it says 2,900. How disrespectful for a used one on B&H. But yet, what's so funny about it is it's literally the regular price. Here, I'm gonna let me put it on the screen. This is shady. This is a bullish right here. Okay. Let me put Derek. Where's Derek at? There. Whoops. Whoops. Whoop. Let me add Derek
If
to
they
it.
drop
All
the
right.
price, then it's gonna be like, oh man, how are we gonna recoup that? Because the resale value is
Look at
gonna
this.
drop.
You see this? This is the regular price. And that's the used, right? They're giving us a
Yeah,
10% off, but really it should be more like $2,600 for this used one because of those tariffs. They already paid the tariffs to who said that? Somebody said that. They're like, they already paid the tariffs. So they're not gonna let Roy said that right here. They already paid the tariffs. So I think for future stuff, we'll see a maybe I don't know. You know, that's just what I'm saying. But look at that. Used is the regular price. Oh
man,
man, that sucks.
man, I
Damn.
still like, even though like the price is where it is, that camera is still good enough to pay that price. I believe.
I didn't say it wasn't. That's for sure, brother. You know, I agree. Okay, I
That's a
still
really good price for that
it's
camera.
still a nice camera. And if Lumix doesn't come out with a box camera, I might have to pick that thing up.
It's appealing.
Hey, if it's 2,300 again, I'm just gonna be like, it is what it is. I'm shooting black magic. You
Didn't
know,
they come out with like a medium format version of it too? Is it the 12K?
they had the Ursa. Was it the Ursa 12K? They had the Pixis 12K, and then of course the Pixis 6K. So I think it's the Ursa
Ursa.
12K. Yeah, that's the one. You know, you're making movies with
That's
that thing.
cinematic. That's
Yeah.
cinematic right there.
The
Mhm.
most cinematic YouTube video you'll ever make. No, that's overkill. Let me see here. Don't they have fan? Paid tariffs. Oh, Cooley says, build them in the USA. Yeah, you're right.
Man, we need to build in the USA. What are y'all doing? Like, everybody that's a camera that loves cameras, they got all these ideas, man. We need to get like together, like somehow,
Not a
and start
manufacturing
making
company.
right, right, like
Well,
like all
look at
these
Roy
different
said.
areas.
Would be great, but who can afford the wages? Exactly. That's the problem. We'd be paying those manufacturers $35 an hour. And then by the time we could buy the lens would be like $5,000. Nick says, I have to practice with using a microphone for video. Oh, yeah, go for it. Get it like, the Rode shotgun mics, the Rode Mic Plus Pro. That's a great starter mic.
It
That's a great
is.
starter
It
mic.
is.
A little shotgun mic. And if not, look what dude. Hey, everybody. Where the hell? Here we go. This has been my favorite latest purchase.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The
DJ
Mic Mini,
DJI.
the DJI Mic Mini. Dude, Derek, I'm not sure if you saw me on the live stream. I bought this thing for $69. Are you kidding me? This thing is awesome. It sounds so good. Okay. If you need good audio, you can't beat this.
And then I seen somebody use a Rode mic. They put it on like a mixing,
Oh
and there's a mixing spoon,
yeah.
and they use it as like a mic so they can put it up to people's mouth. I was like, oh man, that's kind of
Oh
cool.
yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I'm mixing on your kitchen spoon and whatnot.
Yeah,
Roy says most pros don't care about tariffs. They can write stuff off in taxes. Yeah, you're right, but shoot, 10% is 10% when you're looking at $3,000. I mean, $300 is still $300. I mean, but yeah, a lot of pros are going to buy it anyway, and I think that's why they would be slow to take off the price. They're not going to reduce those prices. Darth Prime. I would think the companies were still making a good profit per tariff. A really good sale cost would be something like an employee cost or middleman cost. Oh yeah, they're still going to make sure they make their money. I mean, they're not a nonprofit, right, Derek? Like
yeah.
tariff or no tariff, they're going to get their money.
I think if they had like, say if they had like little, I don't know, like not literally stipulations, but if they had like, if you're a company, like if you're a business, maybe you can get like a percentage off of the tariff, uh,
Mm,
the cost of tariffs that is going for those manufacturers. Say like if you have like a I don't know, a fleet, like you call it like a fleet, your fleet of gear, you know what I'm saying? And you get like a discount on a fleet of gear. If you have a business and it's an established business, you can get a little bit of a discount on the
on
actual
that.
gear that you bought. Yeah. So then they won't have, you know, things won't go up in price all the time every time something gets popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they're gonna hold on to it like a vice grip, man. They ain't gonna
They
give
are.
Roy says even the USA tiny minimum wage of $7 is much higher than China or India. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's very expensive to manufacture things here because it costs a lot to pay us. Like we want that money, right? We're not going to work for free here, and yeah, that does suck.
Because the feds is taking so much money from us.
Well, that too, yeah. It costs a lot to live here. You know, you got to
Yeah, especially to go to states like California or
New
like
York,
Florida or New
yeah,
York. You go to bigger states that have a higher state tax. And you're like, man, this is
and
like
it costs a lot.
killing me.
100%. Derek, I gotta wind this down. I gotta keep it under 2 hours due to
Gotcha.
StreamYard. But stay on real quick, okay? Derek, can you hang out real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, brother. All right, everybody. As you know, it's about 2 hours. That means I need to actually eat some dinner, God forbid. Okay. So with all that said, let me put on my there we go. Ah, yes. You know what it means when I put on this here music, everybody. Please, on the way out, smash that like, share, subscribe to my channel. It actually really does matter. Regardless, I really appreciate you all tuning in and hanging out with me for another episode of the Let's Talk Photography. And of course, I will be live again next week, same bat place, same bat time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, everybody. So, with all of that said, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats and all that good stuff and the action inside of the live chat. All right. So, I think that's about it. Oh, FYI, don't forget to check to submit your natural light portraits to me. Okay, next week I want to review your natural light portraits. You make sure you go ahead and submit those via email. Find my email in the description section down below. Send me natural light photos only. All right. And of course, feel free to go check out how to shoot natural light. Well, I share 3 tips in my latest portrait photography video right now on my channel. All right. So with all that said, thank you so very much. And until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you for watching.